welcome to You SaddleBrooke. Today, I'm taking you behind the scenes to meet Darren Shaw, SaddleBrooke's new COO. Darren, thank you for being here with us today. How about we start with the early years, the young Darren, your siblings, your parents. What's your favorite movie growing up? I just thought of that.
So I come from a family with 4 children and, of course, my 2 parents. And I grew up in the city of Philadelphia. And my family was very sports oriented. So all of the kids were involved in some type of sport throughout our life growing up. And some of us were better than others, but sports were a big part of our life. They were a staple. I think that's what kept our family tight. It gave our family a common purpose because our parents were always involved in sports. And it was fun. It was fun growing up. Growing up, my favorite movie was probably Rudy. I can still watch Rudy if it's on and I see it.
And cry.
It's a great movie. But I have nothing but fond things to think about when I look at my life growing up. I was very blessed and had a lot of opportunities that I was presented with. So. As I grew up, I was trying to figure out what to do with my life, and that's always difficult for some people. Other people are dialed in, and they know exactly what they want to do, and I didn't. So when it was time for me to decide, it was either go to college or go into service. And all the men in my family throughout the generations, everybody had done their stint in the service, including my father. So I decided I'd give the U.S. Navy a shot. So I did a 4-year term there, and then returned home to Philadelphia and started getting my life on track. And it took a couple years from then to even figure out what I wanted to do.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you've answered a lot of other little questions like high school sport. Did you play sports in college? You did in high school.
I played baseball. I played football. I played basketball. I played 2 years of college baseball.
And, okay. Well, that's good. What position, baseball?
I played shortstop and third base.
All right.
Yeah, I was a hitting shortstop and third base. Those are hard to find. But I never really had time to do that as much as I wanted to because I got married younger. After I came home from the service, I was married a couple years later, and I was going to school. And it was hard to fit all that in, especially when I started having children and trying to find the balance in life. So I decided that it was more important for me at that time to be home for my family as much as I could and be home with my children during their early years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My nephew played baseball with Tampa Bay.
Sure. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's in our family. Listening to your upbringing made me think of mine because even though we were raised by just our mother, she was involved in all the sports with us. So we were all involved in sports growing up. And that's good. That's wonderful. Can you just describe your first impression of SaddleBrooke?
I was just surprised at the beauty of the property. As a property manager and a community manager and a general manager, I'm always looking at things that need to be fixed and things I can improve on. But the general impression was this is a beautiful property and the people that I met, that I interviewed with, and the people that I talked to, all seemed to be very, very courteous and very professional and very kind. And it left just a great impression on me. And when I went home, I was excited about the opportunity. I remember calling the consultant saying, "Okay, throw my name in the ring. I think I want to give this one a shot." So, and I think after I've come here, it's met all my expectations.
So after your interview, were you able to drive around and look at the community, or did you go back home and you worked with someone in SaddleBrooke that get online and look up homes for sale? And there it was?
I was looking at homes probably for at least a couple months. I had to give 90 days notice where I was before. That's pretty normal with positions like mine. So I had 90 days to do my research. And Maria, my wife, and I came out here 3 times on the weekends and worked with a realtor from Long Realty. And we looked at homes, and I wanted to have a pool home, and I wanted to have a nice view. And it just so happens that on our third time out here, I was able to find that home, and we're very happy with the home that we purchased, and we're just glad to be here.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And you're happy with your neighbors? And
well, I've met my neighbors on one side. I haven't met my neighbors on the other side yet, but I expect I'll do that sometime here shortly.
well, I'm sure you will, especially around the holidays, and they have all your parties and stuff. Okay, you're going to have family come visit in June.
I am.
And have you had an opportunity? When we moved here, we had to get out and tour Tucson and Arizona so that we could make this our home. Have you had an opportunity to see the sights around Tucson and the area? Like, you know, we've got Kitt Peak, the Biosphere, Tombstone, a lot of history. Tombstone, Karshner Caverns, just so many things. Desert Museum. I mean, that's the place to take all the kids.
You know, I haven't had the opportunity to do so much of that. I've only been here 4 months, and before San Diego, we lived in Scottsdale for about 5 years, and we took trips up to Flagstaff and Sedona, and we knew our way around there pretty well. But we haven't had the opportunity to do that here. The time that I have had off on weekends, we've kind of been just shooting off the weekends, trying to see our family and stay in contact with the family. But I think that as our family starts to visit, that's always an opportunity to go out and do some sightseeing. So I think this summer we'll get out there and see a few things and see how it goes. But you know what? I love this area out here. If I never saw Tucson, I don't think it would make a difference on whether or not I like living out in this area, Tucson.
In this area, because it is beautiful. Bob and I took a vacation here in SaddleBrooke. We just stayed home, didn't do anything but get up, walk, ride our bikes, walk the dog, go to the pool, read a book, go out to eat, you know, that kind of thing. We did that for 3 weeks. Boy, were we in shape back then. We had it all. But you look at it and it's true. We have everything right here, and it's wonderful.
I went down, you know, we were out of town last week in Florida, so I had the opportunity to see the Tucson airport. And as I drove back from Tucson, I couldn't tell you the route that I took, but I was certainly glad to get back in SaddleBrooke when I got back here.
Yeah.
It was nice coming over the hill. I'm like, we're home. We're in our neighborhood.
That is, so when you first came out here, did you come through the front door or the back door of SaddleBrooke?
I came through the back door.
Ah.
I came down
Edwin Road,
and I turned on
Clubhouse.
And, and the first thought was, boy, this road needs to be repaved. And we're actually going to start repaving that road in a couple of weeks.
Cool.
But I came in the back way.
Yeah.
But I love coming over the hill.
Oh, that is it.
It just gives you a sense of being home.
We were looking all over. We looked up in Phoenix. We came down here, and one day Bob said, "Okay, let's go back out to SaddleBrooke." We drove up the hill. He pulled over. We got out of the car, and he said, "This is it. We're looking no further. This is perfect." I know that marketing probably has talked to you a little bit about the interview. And I know, being sports, you know who David Faraday is. Well, he had a TV show where he would interview sports figures, mainly golfers, and he had a little segment called Rapid Fire.
Okay.
Where I'm going to maybe say a little phrase, and you're going to quickly come up with your little answers.
Okay.
All right.
I'm in for that.
Okay.
Don't hurt me now, though.
What's your superpower? Parallel parking or remembering passwords?
Remembering passwords.
Morning person or a night owl?
Morning person. If
your dogs suddenly started talking, what's the first thing you would ask them?
That's an interesting question. I would probably say, "Are you ready for lunch?"
And they know that one anyway. If you were a vegetable, which one would you absolutely not want to be?
Okay. A green pepper.
A green pepper?
Yeah. A green pepper.
Rock or country?
Country rock.
Country rock. Oh, Highwayman.
Mm-hmm.
You might like that. That's a new
Yes.
one. All right. Weirdest thing you've ever Googled, and do you regret it?
Oh, wow. That's a tough question. I've Googled a lot of things through the years. I don't think I have any regrets of anything I've ever Googled. Somebody told me a long time ago, somebody's always watching, so I'm always careful about that. I don't know what, I can't answer that question.
All right.
Yeah. But I have no regrets, though.
Okay. Open door or closed?
Always open door.
Always open.
Always open door.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Stop at Charlie's desk first?
You don't even have to stop
You
at
don't,
Charlie's
just
desk.
walk
You
on
just
in.
Come on in and say, got a minute.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fantastic. I like that.
Mm.
All right. Well, you did good.
All right.
You did good.
I appreciate that.
I love those questions.
Uh-huh.
All right. I met your wife, Maria, and met her at our New Year's gala, and she dragged me out on that dance floor, and we danced. And she is a much better dancer than I am. How did you meet Maria? And tell us about your family.
Okay. So it was probably 30 years ago. I was running a country club in California, and my golf team was getting ready to unionize. They were preparing to unionize. So there were a series of meetings that we had to have with those folks and try and get on the same page. So they were all Latino of some sort, and mostly all of them spoke Spanish. So I requested an interpreter so I could communicate clearly with these folks. And in came Maria, and she was my interpreter. And she said, "Hi, I'm Maria. I'm your interpreter for the day." And she was just the cutest thing. And I had a series of meetings, so I got to work with her 6 or 7 times over the course of a 2 or 3 month period. And she was just a sweetheart. And I stayed in touch with her after we had the opportunity to spend that time together. And a few years later, we decided that maybe it was the right time for us to go out on a date.
That's nice. Yeah. That really is.
And we did that. And she's one of the most special people that I've ever met. This is our second marriage, both of us, and we have 5 children. We have 17 grandchildren. We just had one born up in San Francisco Bay Area 3 weeks ago, and the family's expanding. I was just visiting Florida for a week, and I got to see a few grandkids and my son and a couple of sisters down there.
It's good that you can get on a plane and go visit and enjoy each other.
It's always good to go and always good to come home.
It's always good to go. And you're right. It's nice because they come see you for a few days and then you say bye, and they hit the road. We have a granddaughter and a great-granddaughter here this week.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's fun. Has your family started visiting you?
We haven't had any visitors recently. I know that the first weekend we moved in here, the moving truck showed up, and we had 110 boxes and about 70 pieces of furniture. And there was really nowhere to walk in the house. We had aisleways between the boxes, and our 2 children from Northern California showed up with 5 of our grandkids and expected us to entertain that first week. And we did. It was a little hectic. We told everybody just give us a chance to get everything unpacked, and now we have some visits planned for June, July, and August. So we have family coming in from all over the country during summer months, and the grandkids are excited that I have a swimming pool. So that'll keep them
busy.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what the girls are doing every day. It's pool. That's great. Finally,
yes.
Tell us something about yourself that we don't know.
Something about myself you don't know. Well, there's a whole lot. there's a whole lot you don't know about me. I like to find quiet spots. I like to find quiet spots and sit quiet in nature. And I think, there was a philosopher called Patanjali, and I think he said, man's worst failure is the ability to sit alone in a room and think. And I like to find opportunities because my life is very hectic, just to be quiet. And I think those quiet times are times for reflection, right? And give you an opportunity to just realize all the blessings you have and all the things that you need to do and how you're going to approach those things. And for me, they help me decide how I'm going to impact other people's lives too. And I think that's a big part of my job. Not only just getting the job done and checking all the boxes, is the ability that I can have to impact people that I work with. And for me, that's the most rewarding thing. So something you don't know is people wouldn't think I would like to be a solitary person, but I like those solitary moments.
Well, you've got the perfect place
Absolutely.
to do that around here. And the mountains, I mean, being able to go and hike and find a big rock somewhere, the streams out here, I can understand that you would want some quiet time with your inner thoughts, with nature, with God, with everything. It's very important to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you, Darren, for being here with us today. It's been a joy for me. Your background, everything about you, I know we're going to have a long tenure with you, and it's just been amazing. Thank you very much. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us today. And I hope that you learned a little bit about Darren as much as I have. It's been a great day. But always remember, go to dvpac.net and check out what we have at Desert View Performing Arts Center. Thank you, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Good job.
Well, you just went right through it and just pulled all those questions together.